read some of our history. The Belgrade Commercial Club here in Belgrade has a long history. It started in 1950 when the first local businessmen banded together to promote businesses here in Belgrade and to draw them into the town. They worked on many similar things as we are doing today. The commercial club went for a few years and then they kind of fell apart and regained control of the commercial club in 1921, and they had 66 members made up of businessmen, farmers, and friends. In 1921 they had 66 active commercial club members. They conducted events like the annual summer community days. They had a traveling carnival, rides, shows, and evening dances. The commercial club also hosted an event very similar to August Fest, and that went back to the 1900s. They were called the Jubilee Days, the Annual Harvest Days, and Goodwill Days, and now we're to the August Fest. The commercial club also had their hands in many things throughout the past years. In 1942, they purchased the Bell Theater and owned that for about 3 months, and then they sold that. And then back in 1957, they bought it again, tore it down, and rebuilt it north of the current museum, which is pretty interesting. They also the commercial club hosted free movie nights on Wednesday, and that ran for several years until TVs became popular and people watched TV at home. Here is a ticket for the movie theater. In 1943, they built the Belgrade Sales Pavilion, which many of us know as the Sales Barn. The cost of that building, they spent $3,500 to purchase that building, or to build that building. They also bought the lot in 1986. They purchased the lot and had an auction there every Thursday, which is still Thursday, but they sold new and used items back then, and also local produce. In 1950, they built the Belgrade Baseball Grandstand, and then they had a summer rec program since 1953, which we still have today. In 1958, this commercial club was looking for a doctor, and they found Doctor Who. Sabelko, yep. So Dr. Sabelko was the community physician here in town. At one point, Dr. Sabelko thought maybe he was going to move on and go to a bigger city and do something different. The Belgrade Commercial Club actually put a campaign together to actually keep him in town, and was successful. And they hung these posters all over Belgrade to keep him here. Does anyone know the date when Dr. Sabelko finally retired?
90. I don't know. Anyone?
I'm asking.
91?
Does anyone know?
91? Anyone?
91?
That's a guess. Total guess. 87?
What other event, or what other thing do you think the commercial club put together for the city of Belgrade? What last major project did they conduct? The swimming pool, yep. In 1981, the Belgrade Commercial Club filled a dream when the Belgrade swimming pool was open. The club felt there was a need for a local pool, not only for recreation, but also to hold swimming lessons, because there was a problem with swimmer's itch in local lakes. The commercial club has contributed to the community in other ways over many years, such as scholarships, turkey days, farm and merchant days. Much of Belgrade's progress and the city's favorable appearance can be attributed to the efforts of the Belgrade businessmen and women that have taken part in the commercial club. Many of our current goals still today align with the goals back then, is to promote business in Belgrade. Phil Olson helped gather some of the stuff from the museum. So I know many of you have looked at this already, but feel free to look if you have not. want to thank everybody for coming and for being part of our first annual event. It was a huge success, bigger than we imagined it to be. Thank you. We look forward to doing this in the future. I would also like to thank all the Commercial Club members for helping put this together, especially Julie and Linda, who helped lead this event.
Good job, staff.
Ready? Are you guys ready?
We're ready, so if you think you would like the top dinner, I'm going to
We'll announce the winners of the drawing and then feel free to close out the silent auction.